I want to start this season with a huge confession. There was a time in my life when I figured out that I know everything that I need to know about being a leader. And especially in my 20s, I helped scale the company very, very fast. And through that relationship, I ended up having a massive company, saw an opportunity to put me in a place of leadership, which I wasn't ready for, I wasn't trained for, I had no idea what I was doing, but everything happened so fast and that it felt like, it happened in a blink of an eye. One thing led to another. We started getting these huge contracts. My team grew extremely fast. We went from 4 individuals to around, I think, 64, actually 69, because I remember making a lot of jokes about that, 69. And, we just kept growing. We kept having more people coming in. And that's why I even started wearing a fedora. But behind it all, I felt like I was disappearing. And when I say disappearing, I felt like I was losing myself in that process. Even though we were getting all of these opportunities, I was losing the company culture that I felt like I wanted to create. Because I started getting all this relationship with these individuals that were so smart, and I developed something called imposter syndrome. I felt like I was not enough. I felt like I was, cheating my way into this opportunity that I had created, but I'm not qualified to lead those people. I remember walking into my office one day, and I realized that I have built something that I do not recognize. And this is something that no one prepares you for. No one tells you that leadership can break you very quietly. And you can find yourself in a position where you will slowly losing yourself, especially when you are scaling way too fast. And not understanding that there's a difference between scaling fast and also scaling well. And the scariest part is that no one tells you how easy it is to forget who you are throughout this whole process. No one prepares you for that. And that's why we decided to rebrand from Heliona Insights podcast to You Gotta Know. Just be very straightforward. So every conversation that we're going to be having moving forward on this new name, this new brand, You Gotta Know, is designed for leaders that are trying to scale their business the right way or scale their business well, but also remembering what to do to not lose themselves in the process. So that's the goal moving forward with You Gotta Know. Because all the conversations that I've had in season 1, I believe I did around 25 different interviews, and every person that I talked to, they're all trying to figure out who they are while, living life, leading people, and just navigating day-to-day activities. We are all trying to figure out who we are and how can we live our true self. And during season 1, every conversation that I've had, it helped me figure out a metric that I call the 4 C's. The 4 C, which I've talked about in season 1. If you've been around, you've heard me talk about it. But the 4 C is clarity. The second one is communication, capacity. And the final C is crisis. And these 4 C's, from every conversation that I've had in season 1, what I've gotten from those conversations is that we are always in a place of conflict. So what do you do if you find yourself in conflict? If you're not careful, you can slowly go into crisis. But what do I do when I'm in crisis? Then you go back to those 3 C's, which is clarity, communication, capacity, and this helps you navigate crisis. But the goal is to not get into crisis. This is what I've learned in season 1. And going into season 2, every conversation will be designed to address conflict. And through conflict, we are going to discover how to not get into crisis. But if you find yourself in crisis, what do? You can go back to clarity, communication, and capacity. So I hope you can join me on this discovery on this new name, this new brand, to figure out how are leaders operating within their own sphere, within their own people. How are they leading people? And do they understand that there's a difference between leading and scaling a business and actually not losing yourself in the process, but also scaling well? So this is what the conversation is going to be about. And I hope you will subscribe and stay signed up. And please do not unsubscribe on the email list. I sent out an email a few days ago reminding people of the new name, and we had 6 people unsubscribe. So I hope you bear with us while we figure this whole brand out. But From now on, we are You Gotta Know. I am your host, Ibrahim Cisse, and I hope to see you again in 2026. And I forgot, this is video, by the way, because we've always done audio. But again, thank you so much, and I hope you're doing well.